Good morning to you. Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com, here with your Hurricane Pro and HD video blog for September 12th, 2013. Hope you're having a good Thursday so far. Taking a look at what we have out here in the tropics. Pretty active pattern still, even though nothing directly impacting the United States and nothing threatening right now. We have Hurricane Umberto out here. This other area, I don't think this has become an invest yet, what we call a investigation area, where it gets one of those numbers 90 through 99 and the letter L for Atlantic. But this will have to be watched, as there is a pretty strong and potent tropical wave that could end up in the southwest Atlantic trying to cause trouble later on down the road. We have Gabrielle still hanging around as a depression to the northwest of Bermuda. Convection coming back with that just a little bit. And then we have invest area 93L in the Bay of Campeche, moving off the Yucatan. Let's take a look at a satellite animation of the area. We'll use a visible satellite, although the sun is still coming up in the satellite shot here over a good deal of the western part of the basin. You see out here, Umberto still spinning along. This is going to be on the map for about another week to 10 days, just moving all around the Atlantic. Maybe not like that, but you get the idea. This will be this year's Nadine. You remember how that just stayed out there for a long time? I guess that was last year. And then here's Gabrielle developing convection again around it, with some spiral bands coming in and trying to flare up again. Might be upgraded to a tropical storm at the 11 o'clock advisory time. And then here is a big mess starting to take shape in the southern Gulf of Mexico, Bay of Campeche area. Visible satellite shot as the sun starts to come up over that area. Closer up picture of this very large area of low pressure, what we call a gyre, just a large monsoonal low pressure area in here curled up, with lowering pressures across the region, and the wind flow coming out of the west here, out of the east up here. So you just have this large circulation pattern that's capable of producing multiple storms, maybe one down here in the eastern Pacific, and then another one up here in the Bay of Campeche, and then this whole area is going to stay active, I think, beyond what happens with this over the next week to 10 days. So this is forecast by most of the global models to develop and then come up here somewhere along the coast of eastern Mexico. If it waits too long and the pattern changes up here over to the north of it, there's a chance that it could come up more into the Gulf, but we'll have to wait and see. The biggest problem with this, and I have to emphasize this, a lot of rainfall coming for this area, and those are areas that do not need it right now. Where we need it is up here in Texas. We don't need 10 to 15 inches, that's for sure, but a lot of rainfall coming for this area that does not need it. They dealt with Tropical Storm Fernan and then Tropical Depression 8 recently, and now this is just going to pile onto that, unfortunately. Here's the vorticity chart, and you can see already starting to increase the vorticity down here, and we will watch this over the coming days as this takes shape. Then we have Gabrielle to the north and west of Bermuda, still holding its own as a very well-defined system, and that deep convection trying to come back just a little bit. Maybe it'll be a tropical storm again for a few hours later today. And then we have Umberto sitting out here, and then our other tropical wave, where, as I was saying, this energy could come up here to the southwest Atlantic, where it may try to develop down the road. Looking at the tracks for potential what could happen with 93L in its future, again, most of the modeling taking it right into Mexico, but some indications are that it could come a little bit more north than that. It's going to be really a lot to do with where it develops, how soon it takes to develop, how quickly, whichever way you want to call it. The later in the development cycle it goes, then the more northward it could track. So you folks up here in Texas, don't completely write it off. In fact, there'll be some indirect influences. You've got this large circulation down here that will develop and is currently developing. And then you're going to have a strong easterly fetch coming out of the Gulf here that's going to pile up the water along the Texas coastline. So there will be some coastal flooding issues from time to time. Certainly you want to monitor your National Weather Service forecasts at weather.gov. Put your zip code in and check out any particular hazardous weather statements, coastal marine statements, that sort of thing. because there will be a large circulation down here. Whether or not this fully develops into a tropical cyclone, a lot of energy and a lot of wind and that easterly fetch going to impact a good deal of the western and northwest Gulf of Mexico. And then we'll see if this can come far enough north to bring some rainfall, maybe from Corpus Christi points south to the Rio Grande Valley. We'll just have to wait and see, keeping our fingers crossed, even though, of course, we don't want to see too much at one time. I want to emphasize again that these areas down here, you can really just do without the heavy rain. But unfortunately, this looks like it's going to be hanging on as it develops very slowly over the next several days. Well, that is a look at the tropics for your Thursday, the 12th of September. Have a good rest of your day. Again, I'm Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com, my site. Always an honor and a privilege to produce these videos for you on Hurricane Pro in HD. I'll be back with more info for you tomorrow.